Islam, Islam, Islam. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Hotel, hotel, hotel. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Assalamu alaikum, assalamu alaikum, assalamu alaikum. Alafia, alafia, alafia. Grand rising, grand rising, grand rising. Power to the people, power to the people, power to the people. God bless, God bless, God bless. How my family doing? I hope. And wish upon each and every one of you a peaceful state of mind. Wish everybody's in a peaceful state, happy state. As happy as you can be. It's important that we be our best self, but we do the best that we know how. And we got the best in us. You know what I'm saying? We really been caught up in a wave of evil. I told y'all about Noah and the flood. A lot of a lot of people don't break down the symbolism within their teachings, within their beliefs. A lot of people are under the misconception that everything's physical. What's physical about the truth? Tell me, what's physical about the truth? What's physical about God? What's physical about love? What's physical about peace? What's freedom? What's physical about freedom? What's physical about justice? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the word itself, and I'm saying the meaning. You can't touch these things. But you keep wanting to perceive your book from a physical perspective. You're not going to find the truth that way, fam. You're not going to find it. I'd like to share a brief story with y'all. And then I want to read a document. I want to put it on the public record. By the way, I am Chief Justice Durand Murrell Bey in Capitis Diminutio Nolo in red ink, in propria persona sui juris, in proprio solo, and in proprio heredis. This is an Article 3 Moroccan Moorish American court action. We are the sovereigns, the heirs, the creditors, the executives of earth. Okay? Of earth. We're also the United States for America. Okay? We are, I say we, meaning the Moors. You know what I'm saying? Those who know that they're Moors, of course. We are the presidents. We are the governors. We are the mayors. We are the judges, chief judges. We call ourselves chief judges, because we are the chief over all judges. We are the people. We are the power. We are the government. Okay? Putting it on public record. Okay? There won't be no misunderstandings. And I'm going to read a document that's titled, or it's in reference of the United States bankruptcy liquidation writ. It's one of the documents that I already put on the public record probably last year, okay, when I was handling my business then, okay. But for right now, I want to share a story with y'all, or an experience that I had that changed my life around forever. I'm talking about I went from deaf, dumb, and blind, or striving to come up out of it, had innate desire because I just got locked up, and I'm looking for change. I'm looking for a solution, okay? And it was actually approximately a year and a half later, which was actually a little longer than that. From the time I got arrested in 92, I say it was about late 93, 94, around the middle, or I say somewhere in there. Excuse me. And I was just, I filed a extradition or something to try to get the feds to come and get me from the state so I can do both times in the feds instead of doing separate times. It didn't work out for me. I ended up doing both times. They played me then, okay? And while I was in the holdover, and this is where I ran into my man Dirt, for a lot of y'all that know Dirt. I ran into him, man. We cut up down there. Me, him, Mike Powell. But anyway, we had a good old time, though. Woo-wee. But Dirt, good dude. I like Dirt. But when I was down there, my uncle sent me a Quran, the Malena Muhammad Ali translation, okay? And at the time, I'll share this too, because it goes all together. I called my uncle, and he asked me, he said, how much time in a day do you give to Allah? And we broke it down. And it got to the point, I said, an hour. He said, an hour. He said, okay. Hour to Allah, we subtracted sleep, eat, shower, so forth, which left me with a lot of time. And he concluded, and I agreed with him, that the rest of the time I gave to the devil, okay, which was a whole lot of time. And I did that by watching TV, playing cards, playing dominoes, let's just say the little loose talk that I did, in the past and memories and, so forth. It was the devil. And I had to think about that. Out of 24 hours, only give the Most High Mother and Father, only give Allah 1 hour. 1 hour? Seriously? So it bothered me, so I had to start working on that. I had to start increasing my time. Okay? I'm going to jump back a little bit as a reminder, then I'll move forward into my original experience that I want to share. And this is in reference to giving 1 hour to Allah. When I was in the penitentiary, when I went back, and I'm studying and I'm rotating with the Muslims this time, our Islam. And, we pray 5 times a day, okay, throughout the day. So whatever you're doing, you got to stop and you got to go make salat. Do wudu and make salat, okay? And what that did was a form of discipline. Instead of me just going all day in the world, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to say in the world. Not all of it was in the world. Some of it was constructive. Some of it was fitness. And some of it was mixture of fitness and having fun. Okay. 5 times throughout that day, you stop and you acknowledge your creator. That was beautiful discipline. Okay. Because just before I joined the Muslim community, I was going to a church and I was praying once a day. Even though sometimes me and the brother, we pray before we read the Bible, and we may pray after we finish the Bible. You know what I'm saying? You know, but conceptually, as Christians, we pray once a day. Okay. When I got into our Islam, they taught me how to pray 5 times a day. Okay. And then when I joined the more science, I learned that we pray every second, every minute, every hour of the day. So it was like progress. I was evolving unbeknownst to myself as I transitioned from one belief into another and then into another. It's like school. You start out in Head Start, kindergarten, and you make your way all the way up to 12th grade, then into college. You know what I'm saying? Naturally, as I was seeking knowledge, I was evolving into the different belief systems that I think fit for me to grow in. Okay? Because we naturally inclined to go in the right direction when we are adhering to our nature. Okay? And being in the penitentiary, we're in a submissive state. A few of us, all of us, but we choose to do different things with our time. Okay. So I learned about time as far as applying it constructively versus unconstructively, applying it in a way that it invests in me instead of taking away from me or setting me up for future failure. Okay, so let's go back to the jail, you know, where me and my uncle had a conversation about how much time I give to Allah in a day. Okay, I was reading the Quran that he just sent me that was the Millennium Muhammad Ali translation. It's the one that the Nation of Islam used in particular. Okay, I read a preface in there titled Life After Death, and intrigued my mind. Okay. And I went into it. And it had references in the Quran and in the Bible. So it cross-referenced each one. So as I'm studying the subject and looking at the references as they're using them for points to make, to use it as evidence to make their point, I've come to the realization because it talked about the resurrection, it talked about heaven, and it talked about hell. Okay. And what I concluded from reading this and studying it from scripture and from the Quran is that heaven and hell are not a place of mess and bounds. They're not geographical locations, but they rather states of mind. Okay. As they pointed out, how do we know there's a hell if nobody had been to hell and came back? You see what I'm saying? So this is where they ask questions to get you to think so you can figure out what makes sense and what doesn't. And you can also figure out who lying to you and who's telling you the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because you got man's hand in every religious group with the desire to dominate and control, which don't have nothing to do with good or righteousness. Okay. So they devils. Okay. In each group. Okay. So I come to the realization that from reading one, I learned that my mind had just elevated in such a way because what it revealed to me changed my life. It changed my whole perspective. It took me from seeing things in the physical to now being able to see it from the mental. from a subjective standpoint, meaning subject matter, meaning a topic. I went into and I understood in depth on that particular subject. And then it enlightened me to the point I said, man, I don't want to see nothing again from the physical standpoint. I wanted to see it from the mental, from the soul, because this was the first time I felt my soul being fed. Being fed. I'm talking about I had a full course meal from studying that preface. And that was my awakening. That was my spiritual awakening right there. It was my new birth. August 1994. I keep thinking 2004, but no, 1994. Okay. Which is what, 11 years ago? Yeah. No, 94 and 2004. It's 10. Yeah, 10 years. Let me look at that. 1994, 10 years later. No, that's 20 years. I'm tripping. And I'm good at math. 1994. Okay, yeah. So let's say 20 years would be 11. 2014. Yeah, okay, 21 years. Okay, yeah, 21 years ago. To be exact, we're a month away from August. August was in the days, the 9th, 10th? No, tomorrow. Today's the 8th. Tomorrow's the 9th, so the 8th. That was August what? I can't remember what date, but it was in August. So, man, that's like a 20-year anniversary. Okay. But it blew I opened up. That's when my soul opened. That's when my eyes opened. That's when I began to see. Because from that point on, when I read, I'm looking for that deeper meaning. I'm looking for the essence. And that was before my uncle told me about stop watching TV for entertainment and understand the plot and the meaning. So I woke up first just to be prepared for what he shared with me. Because it lined right up, And fam, that's why it's important to keep an open mind. That's why it's important to be inquisitive and having a desire to learn. Life ain't about impressing other people. It ain't about dressing up for other people. It ain't about trying to look good for other people. And that's what y'all do. Come on, keep it real. Because if you weren't dressing up for other people, it wouldn't matter what you had on. You don't have to spend $1,000 on an outfit. Go to the concert. You wear the outfit that you wore last week. You see what I'm saying? But in your mind, you just got to have something new and something expensive, because you're trying to press somebody outside yourself. You're trying to look good for other people. And until you can admit that, you're going to be in a prison in your mind, lying to yourself for the rest of your life. So it's something that I ain't cut like that, I ain't cut like that. I got a different mission, so I got to do things that's unimaginable, And an old friend of mine remind me that, not reminded me, but he enlightened me about myself. When I went to the penitentiary, when I, appeared on the news, it was a shock to people because people didn't know me for real. They knew me, but they didn't know me, But we very seldom know each other because we don't know how to get to know each other. And a lot of times we don't know how to keep it real, even though some of us do, and some of us have, and some of us did, okay? But he let me know that it was shocking. It was unexpected, And he made me think what I was on, what I believed in, the knowledge that I gained, from being locked up for so long, and how I applied myself. And it was to the point where when I first went in 92, December 92, when I was in the jail, I told myself, if I have to do all this time, because I was facing a lot of time, I'm going to be a powerful man when I get out. Just this basic expression that I'm going to improve myself. I'm going to make myself better. Okay. So the day that I was getting out, which is 2011, around June, okay, it was hot too. I'm sitting on the bench outside of my cell with my bags, waiting for my name to be called, and I'm thinking about what I said when I was at the jail. And I'm reflecting on all that I learned. And I'm like, whoa, I never imagined that I was going to learn as much as I learned. And I learned some things. I'm talking about we can have some conversations and, whoo, I can share. Boy, I got a lot I can share. That's why I can't wait to sit around with my grandbabies and tell them stories. You know what I'm saying? But I got to discipline them to do that. Because they ain't used to sitting around listening, but they'll find the things I got to share interesting. I just need to create that space, okay? Yeah, I had a powerful mind when I got out. But I didn't anticipate what I was going to experience. This is not what this is about. It's another thing. But I'm saying that to share that we got an unlimited potential. You got gifts inside of you, fam. You are powerful. You are intelligent, just like your ancient ancestors. They passed it down. The same way they passed your ancestors, your forefathers, same the way they passed down the curse, you know what I'm saying? You got your ancient ancestors' DNA in you too. So same way negative was passed down, positive was passed down. You got a genius gene inside of you, okay? And it's of paramount importance that you start seeking for that. And finding that, because I need some geniuses to move with me, okay? Because it's some great works that needs to be done, Let's just say angel work. For those who know what an angel is and can accept the angel in you and not be ashamed of it. Be who you are. And we can get some things done. Okay? Because there's a lot of government work that needs to be done. We always had a government since ancient times. We just didn't know about it. But now we're coming back into the knowledge that we are the law and we are the government. It's time for us to make changes. It's time for us to take our seat. It's time for us to let the world know who we are. Let our city know who we are. Let our state know who we are. So they recognize, so they don't make no mistakes. You see what I'm saying? Ain't no mistakes gonna be made anyway. But the key to taking your seat is proclaiming your nationality. Nationality is the law. You know what I'm saying? It's the law. And it's the order of the day. You have to claim who you are. If you don't claim who you are, you're going to continue to be who they say you are. And it ain't good. It ain't been good. So it's time to change from the lie to the truth. It's time to come up out of law and be in law so you can honor your ancient ancestors. So you can start to be obedient. So you can start to stand for righteousness and set a divine example for your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, and generations to come. Because they need to be guided right. And we need to set down to create a curriculum. We need to create a womb for our people. You know what I'm saying? And when you create a womb, you create everything. It's like when you create a woman, you create everything. Because everything comes with the woman. You know what I'm saying? So women, it's time for us to come together. The one is here. You know what I'm saying? So we have to meet and we have to sit down and we have to fulfill our purpose and we have to protect our children. We have to protect our family. We have to protect our home. We got to protect our community. We got to protect our city. We got to protect our state. Okay? Because this is our territory. Our territory. Be who you are. And I got the paperwork for y'all to fill out and file, on the public record. You know what I'm saying? Down at the county recorder. We ain't asking for nothing. We making a public notice. We're letting it be known who we are. They've been waiting on us. I'm telling you, they waiting on us. I'm talking about they are desperately waiting on us. Because their system is turned down. You know what I'm saying? They running out of money. And you the money. You the money. So if you don't step up, you can't save the city. You can't save the state. You can't save the community. You can't save your household, your family. You can't save yourself. It starts with nationality. That's the strongest foundation we can set. Because that's identifying yourself in law, on the record. You telling the world who you are. And there it is. Be who you are. And as we be who we are, we're going to keep growing. We're going to keep evolving. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep elevating. But women, we got to create that bond. We got to unify. You know what I'm saying? We got to unify. So with that being said, and from there we can start having classes, start teaching what needs to be taught, show improving. Because these just ain't words. You know what I'm saying? Things unfolding, they're unfolding fast, and we got to get ready. Can't wait till the last minute. But right now, I just want you to get prepared mentally. For those that have been paying attention and been waiting, okay, time has come. You know, it's time to step up. Get ready to step up and proclaim your nationality and see how the Most High really works. You know what I'm saying? Through you, through us, through our power, through our seat in government. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about real government. I got a lot to share with y'all starting today. This document that I want to speak on the public record. I love internet interference right there. Okay, again, family, this is a title or in reference to the United States bankruptcy liquidation writ. I'm going to read from the top to the bottom. Okay. Empire State of Morocco, United States for America. Moorish National Republic Federal Government. Societas Republic each Americanos. Moorish Divine and National Movement of the Earth. Northwest Amesium, Northwest Africa, North America, North Gate, all joining islands, temples of the moon and sun, the true and de jure national peoples, her of the land, Islam. Empire State of Morocco, Universal Sovereign Original Indigenous Natural Divine Writ, referencing United States Bankruptcy Liquidation Writ. Listen close. Be still. I'm just going to read straight through. If I'm compelled to say something, I say something. If not, I'm going to read straight through. Some powerful words in here. This is government. Anytime you see red, government. Federal government. Okay? All rise and stand and remain standing into perpetuity. This is a sovereign, living, ancient, Article 3, Moorish, American, and Moroccan court action. We are the sovereign, living justice in capitis diminutio nolo, in red ink, in proper prio persona sui juris, in proper prio solo, and in proper prio heredis. All Moors are the original indigenous, sovereign, ancient, Al-Moroccan, Moorish, American descendants of the great pharaohs of Kemet and of the ancient Moabites and Canaanites. Our full faith and trust, our allegiance, our credit, and our energy are hereby vested in ourselves, for we are the people who are the original indigenous, natural, divine, ancient empire, state of Morocco, and the de jure Moorish National Republic federal government. The Universal Moorish American Consulate and the Article 3 Moorish American Consular Court. We are peace. We are one nation, one state, one empire, one God. We hereby exercise all sovereign rights at this time and at all points in time, non-pro time. The universal, original, indigenous, sovereign, natural, divine people who are the sovereign empire.
Hello, Moto.
Islam. It's bad timing for him. Okay. The National Republic federal government. Let me start it right here. The universal, original, indigenous, sovereign, natural, divine people who are the sovereign empire state of Morocco and the de jure Moorish National Republic federal government have placed a universal commercial code 1 lien on the, in all black, in all capital letters, in brackets, United States Corporation Company. We placed a lien on the United States Corporation Company, the U.S. Federal Reserve, and all agents, principals, heirs, assigns, and any derivatives thereof. It means anybody they may sign over have to call back. Okay. And yeah, anybody they sign it over to or try to hide it in somebody else's name or pass it on, you know what I'm saying? Any way they try to sneak out of it, we locked it in. On August 3rd, 1434, which is 2018, non-pro-ton, the Empire State of Morocco does hereby provide remedy for the bankrupt financial condition of the United States, in all capital letters in black ink. Okay? So it's saying on this date, non-pro-ton, the Empire State of Morocco do hereby provide remedy for the bankrupt financial condition of the United States under the governing authority and sovereign supreme jurisdiction of the Empire State of Morocco in alignment with, among other laws, the Constitution for the United States, 1789 and 1791, United States Code, Title 11, Title 18, Title 26, Title 28, and the 108 Congress Public Law 8, as pursuant to the Constitution for the United States, 1789 and 1791, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 4, states the following: to establish a uniform rule of naturalization and uniform laws on the subject of bankruptcies throughout the United States, to coin, regulate the value thereof in of foreign coin, and fix the standard of weight and measure. This universal, sovereign, original, indigenous, natural, divine, Article 3 consular court action has been placed on the public record by the living ancient Empire State of Morocco fiduciaries. See below for due process notification tracking number. The following creditor transmitting utility. Okay, and I got a copy of that tracking number in the document when I sent it. Reference: United States federal person, Durand Edward Murrell. Al Moroccan state taxpayer identification utility with social security number, my social security number. Okay. Note: see attached United States fiduciary affidavit and attached sovereign lawyer affidavit in lieu of Internal Revenue Service Forms 2848, power of attorney and declaration of representative, received on December 5th, 2024 at 2:10 a.m. via United States Post Office, certified mail number 9589 0710 5270 2578 7850, collected shall be paid to the de jure Moorish National Republic Federal Government, AA 222141 A1 Truth, to whoever United States business entities that operate commercially on United States public markets and accepts and or exchanges in United States currency while custodially providing goods and or services to United States persons in everyday commerce. The above mentioned United States federal person, which was me, has a prepaid non-obligatory commercial agreement with the United States in relation to 12 USC 95A, excuse me, regulation of transactions in foreign exchange of gold and silver, property transfers, vested interests, enforcements, and penalties, Part 2, and other public policies on United States debt. For the record, We, the living, sovereign, original, indigenous, natural, divine empire state of Morocco, and the Moorish divine and national movement of the earth, and the Moorish National Republic federal government, and the Moorish American consulate in this universal court are at peace. The business entity receiving this writ and affidavit is federally bound to the United States and the U.S. public debt obligations by way of the Constitution for the United States, 1789 and 1791. Internal Revenue Service Employer Identification Number, in brackets, the IRS being under the U.S. Department of the Treasury, and the Federal Reserve business bank account in your custody. The business entity receiving this writ and affidavit is hereby commanded to itemize any and all commercial products and or services chosen by the sovereign living empire of Morocco, fiduciary for the above U.S. federal public person, and adjust the bottom line total cost amount to zero, alt, and release the item to the state fiduciary. Additionally, provide a receipt to the U.S. federal public person by way of the Empire State of Morocco fiduciary, Durand with Murrell, and retain the record of the transaction to settle your federal tax obligation, as an entire transaction is a commercial accounting matter, to remedy the debt and obligations that the bankrupt United States owed to its creditors, who are the people, who are the Empire State of Morocco, the original indigenous United States for America. This lawful writ and affidavit is in alignment with the National National Banking Emergency Law for 1933. All commercial public debt obligations while transacting business within the United States commercial markets belongs to the United States, as the United States is the true debtor in each and every commercial transaction, as proclaimed herewith. All sovereign, original, indigenous, ancient, divine, Moorish American autograph affirming this, and all sovereign, original, indigenous, ancient empire, state of Morocco, and the de jure Moorish National Republic federal government documents are on the public record at America, ancient Morocco, northwest of Maxim, northwest Africa, the North Gate, Turtle Island, Gaia, Midgard, and Earth. Chronos, time immemorial into perpetuity. Ego sum, Durand with Murrell Bey. Justice, Visor, Minister, in capitis diminuto nolo in red ink, in proprio persona sui juris, in proprio solo, in proprio heredis. Notice the agent is notice the principal, notice the principal is notice the agent. That was a reading from the Universal Sovereign Original Indigenous Natural Divine Writ, reference United States bankruptcy liquidation writ. To sum that up, we the Moors are saving the United States from a bankruptcy by coming in and how can I put it? Taking our throne, because we always been the money. That's how they used us. They manipulated our estate, our money, our value, our worth. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said prior to this video that you are wealthy. You are rich. You own the land. All you gotta do is claim it back. Okay? Don't wait. Prepare. Prepare your mind. Get ready. Because when I make that call, if you ain't ready, you're going to get left behind. Okay? You're going to get left behind. So when the interview go down and we talk and I don't hear what I supposed to hear, I'm saying, all right, I give you a call. Tell you what I tell everybody. But you won't get a call because you weren't prepared. You didn't believe. You didn't take me serious. You thought I was joking. When you know I ain't no joke. I ain't never joked. I ain't never played. And I ain't never spoken like it's either. I never said these things before. So with us taking our seat, and since you are the government, since you are the law, we get to make our own money, right? Okay, we got our own money. And we're going to circulate it. So we got the funds to, let's say, save the world. But we're going to save our territory, which is Louisville, Kentucky. Okay? And we're going to take over. When I say take over, meaning we're going to take over the books, take over the operations. And we're going to guide this ship back on course. You see what I'm saying? And one of the big things, and I want to put this out there, and I'm glad I remember, because I was just thinking about this the other day. I've been thinking about it for some time. One of my main objectives is to get it to where our city has no homeless people. Nobody's homeless. I think it's despicable. I think it's an insult to the people. I think it's a shame that this city makes the money that it makes. And I ain't hearing all that budget crap that y'all lying individuals be doing, you know what I'm saying, and pocketing the money, instead of thinking about the people, okay? And I don't care who says what, unless you know government. I'm talking about the public and the private. If you don't know both of them, you don't know what you're talking about because you're only speaking from the public. And if you're speaking just from the public, you got blinders on, And the ones that's been around for some time and heard some things that they're not supposed to repeat, you know something. You know more than those that's jumping out there and claim that they know what they don't know. Okay? So, they waiting on us, because they drowning, and they can only be saved by us, the Moors. So you Moors here in Louisville, Kentucky, tighten them boots up, get back in your lessons. Law governs all events. Said the prophet's going to keep the European here long enough to teach us how to run a government. But we learn. I'm trying to pass on the knowledge so we can do this thing together. Okay? That's all I got. I pray and hope that the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that I shared was inspiring, motivating, or encouraging to you in some form or fashion to get you to believe, to get you to have faith, and get you to produce what you will. You know what I'm saying? What you have in you, bring it out. Because see, up under this new rule, it's like Deion Layfield used to say, he said it's a new sheriff in town, and his name is Long Long. I think that's what he used to say. It's a new sheriff in town. And his name is Chief Justice Durand Edward Murrell. Okay? And when you step up, you can say Chief Justice in your name. Okay? Peace, love, and happiness, fam. Y'all have a great rest of y'all Monday. Keep love on y'all mind. And put the thought on your mind before you go bed of running your own government. Tell yourself, I am the law and I am the government, because we are the people. If we the people, we the law and we the government. Okay?